Hello, this is Jen from the Wadsworth Public Library, and today I'm going to show you a great free resource that you can use for ACT preparation. If you're planning on attending college, chances are you're going to have to take either the ACT or the SAT in order to apply to almost any school. Today, every college accepts ACT scores, and Ohio schools prefer the ACT because its content more closely matches what is actually taught in school. This video will show you some of the materials available, both digitally and in print, to help you prepare for each of the parts of the ACT test while reviewing key concepts and testing your skills along the way. So the first thing you'll need to do is go to our website, which is wadsworthlibrary.com. All of the materials that we have for middle school and high school students are under this Students tab right here, and you will see the first result is college readiness. This is where we keep all of our upcoming information about college prep, review, and programming. Generally, we would have in-person review and practice testing, but due to COVID, all of our programming is virtual. But luckily, a lot of these materials that I'm going to show you today very closely mimic what we do in the in-person sessions. So the platform that we're using to review is called Learning Express Library, and it's offered through Ohio Means Jobs. So if you click on that link, it will take you to a training module that says Career and College Readiness for Middle and High School Students. The first thing you'll want to do is register for an account. You can see that I already have one, but there will be a link here that says sign in or register. You want to do that because if you continue without creating an account, it will not save any of your progress or any of your previous practice tests so that you can compare how you've done. So I recommend taking a few minutes to register so that it'll save all of your progress in your account. So you'll see the different modules, ACT, SAT, ASVAB. There are some skills tests, but today we are going to focus on the ACT. So this platform will bring you right into the practice test. You can really work through this any way that you would like. There's no particular order that you need to do, but I always recommend starting with the tutorials and the review and then doing the practice tests. But really you can do this in any order that you like. It'll bring you right into the practice test, but if you're not sure where to start, you can click on guidance, and it kind of recommends to get an idea, take these practice tests. Then it recommends looking at an ebook with some quizzes and other review materials, and then you can take another practice test and check out some ebooks as well. So a lot of times students want to come in the library and they want a print copy of our study review books, which is fine. We definitely have those. But the problem with only relying on print to study is that when test time nears, all of our print materials are checked out. And so I definitely recommend supplementing with ebooks. But if you would like to see what we have in print, you can go to our website, catalog search. There's just this search bar that's always here. Catalog search ACT review. And this will bring up all of the things that we have in the library, both online and in print. If you are only interested in what we have in the library, you can limit, and also limit by format, although sometimes it still brings up ebooks. Yeah, so you'll want to pay attention to the format. Even though you've limited it to books, sometimes ebooks still show up. So anything that says ebook, just be aware that it is a digital copy. This one says book, so you will know that this is print. Kaplan ACT Prep 2020, so it's current, up to date. That would be a great source that I recommend. You can request that, come in and grab it, whatever you would like. But if you would also like to see what else we have in ebook format, you can go back to our website again. There's a separate catalog just for ebooks, so I will show you how to get to that. Actually, there's two. If you go to our website and go to Books and More, Digital Media, we have three different digital resources: the Ohio Digital Library, Hoopla, and Canopy. Canopy is for streaming video, like movies. So Hoopla and the Ohio Digital Library are the sources that you want to check for ebooks. So the Ohio Digital Library, again, this will just return ebook results. And so you can search. It'll ask you to log in with your library card number. You can search ACT test, prep, or just test. So this looks like the one that we have in print. The digital copy is currently checked out, but there are some available. It'll tell you at the top. And you'll want to pay attention to the dates for some of these. This one says 2013, which I'm sure would be fine for a general review, but I always recommend the most up-to-date resource that you can find. So these you can download for your phone, your tablet, or you can even read them directly on your computer or your laptop or any kind of device. So that's one way to get ebooks. The other is Hoopla. The difference between Hoopla and the Ohio Digital Library is that Hoopla is a streaming source, so all of the materials are always available. You may have to wait for things to become available with the Ohio Digital Library, but everything that we have on Hoopla is always available, so that's kind of nice. We will limit to ebooks and just type in ACT. All right, that's only returning one, so let's just do ACT, see what happens. There we go. So again, there's ACT Cram Plan, Math for the ACT, Complete Guide 2019-2020, so that's a good current one. And these you would never have to wait for. They're always available. So that's three different ways that you can find study guides. So let's go back to the Learning Express library platform. Like I said, you can start anywhere you like. You can jump right into the practice test, or you can do the tutorials. Let's just click on one of the practice tests so that you can see how this works. We'll do, let's see. I'll just click on English Practice Test 2. So this test is great because there are a couple different ways that you can use the practice tests. If you would like, you can actually print these out and do them on paper like you would with the actual test. The advantage to the digital practice test is that you've got a timer and it will, shut you off whenever you're done. And it'll give you feedback to your questions. So that's kind of an advantage to doing this rather than a paper test. There's a couple different test modes that you can do. The practice one is kind of like the middle ground. So you do the test, it's timed, but the timer is not enforced. So you can tell when your time is up, but you can see how you're doing. Especially with the math portion where a lot of people run out of time. Using the practice mode, you will be able to see just how much overtime you're running or where you need to kind of adjust and adapt. The learner mode is very slow. It'll give you feedback to your questions as you go. So you can, if you get it wrong, it'll tell you why, and it'll give you, tips. The simulation is the actual practice test mode that is supposed to be like test day. Your test will stop when the timer is over. You don't get any feedback until the end when your test is scored. So this is kind of the best way to practice if you want it to be like on test day. So as soon as you click Start Test, the timer will begin. Like you can see, it's already started, and it will give you a passage just like on the test, and you choose your answers, and you scroll to the bottom. So the thing that's a little weird about this, you get to the end and you're like, how do I go to the next page? You actually have to click top or just go here and go to the next question. I'm not sure why it's at the top instead of the bottom, but anyway, that's where it is, and it'll take you to the next pages. Or if you would like to skip a question and come back to it, you can always use the jump to a question. You can mark it for later and go back, which is great, especially for like the math portion or the science, where people tend to take a little bit longer. If you feel like it's going to take you a while, you can mark it, skip it, and come back to it. So with this, you can score it once you're done, or if you have to stop and finish later, you can actually save. You can save it, or you can close it without saving. So this is a great resource. There are a number of different practice tests so that you can take each one and kind of compare your scores and how you did. You can print them out, like I said. There are a lot of different ways you can use this resource, and it's extremely helpful. So I hope this is helpful to you. I hope you will take advantage of it. A little hint that I always give everyone about the ACT and the practice testing is that you should always guess. The ACT is scored based on the number of questions you answer correctly. You're not penalized for guessing, so you should always try to make a guess on each question and not leave anything blank. If you look like you're going to run out of time when they give you the 5-minute mark, you just want to start filling in circles because you at least want to give yourself the opportunity of getting a correct answer. So that's just a little test tip. So hopefully, like I said, you will take advantage of the tests. You can print them as well. And good luck with your studies. Thanks.